The first thing he said to me wasn't loud. That's what people don't understand about humiliation. It rarely announces itself. "Sir," the bank manager said, not looking up from his screen. "If you're not here for actual business, you're holding up the line. Actual business." The words landed softly like a receipt sliding across a counter, but the meaning stuck. The woman behind me shifted her weight. Someone sighed. A security guard took half a step closer, and just like that, a room full of strangers agreed on who I was supposed to be. I stood there for a second longer than normal. Not frozen, just processing. I was wearing a plain navy jacket, clean shoes. No logos, no watch that screamed money. I'd learned a long time ago that the louder your accessories are, the quieter your character usually is. "I have an appointment," I said, calm, polite. 10 o'clock. He finally looked at me then. Not really at me, through me. A quick scan. Shoes, jacket, skin. Whatever calculation he ran ended fast. "Appointments are upstairs," he said. "You'll have to wait like everyone else." I nodded and stepped aside. That's the part people always judge later. Why didn't you say something? Why didn't you correct him? Because I've been in rooms where the wrong word at the wrong time cost lives. I've learned that silence used well can tell you more about people than confrontation ever will. So I waited. I sat in one of those molded plastic chairs that seemed designed to remind you you're temporary. 10 minutes passed. Then 20. Then I watched 3 people who came in after me get waved forward. A white-haired couple. A guy in a tailored suit talking loudly into his phone. Another man who mentioned he was late for a meeting and was immediately apologized to. No one looked my way. I smiled once to myself because there was something almost predictable about it. Painful, but predictable. An hour passed. I stood and approached the counter again. Same manager, same screen, same dismissal. "I just wanted to check in," I said. "I believe they're expecting me." He didn't look up. "Sir," he said again, slower this time, "everyone believes they're important." That one stung. Not because it was clever, but because I'd heard versions of it my whole life. In hospitals, in boardrooms, at charity events where donors smiled until they realized I wasn't staff. I could feel that familiar tightening in my chest. Not anger, weariness. "I'd like to speak to another manager," I said. Now he looked up fully. "I'm the highest authority here," he said, then lowering his voice just enough to make it worse. "If this place isn't a good fit, there's a smaller branch a few blocks over. Might be more appropriate." Appropriate. I glanced around. People were pretending not to listen. That silence was louder than anything he'd said. I sat back down. At that point, it wasn't about the meeting anymore. It was about understanding how far this would go if I let it. Another hour. My phone buzzed in my pocket again. I didn't answer, not yet. When I stood the third time, the manager sighed audibly. "Sir, we've discussed this." "I know," I said, "and I've been patient." He leaned back in his chair. "Your time isn't more valuable than anyone else's." Then he added it, the line that didn't need explaining. "You people always think it is." The room went still. Someone coughed. The security guard shifted again. I felt my jaw tighten. Not because I wanted to yell, but because it takes effort not to. "Can you tell me," I asked quietly, "what a real customer looks like to you?" He smirked. "Someone who belongs here." That was it. Not the insult, not the weight. The certainty. The belief that he was the gatekeeper of belonging. The phone on the desk rang. He answered without breaking eye contact with me. "Yes," he said, "this is the branch manager." He listened. His brow creased. He glanced at me again, sharper this time. "One moment," he said, putting the call on hold. "You're claiming you're the person they're expecting upstairs," he said. "That's a serious accusation." "I'm not claiming anything," I said. "I'm stating it." He laughed, not humorously, defensively. "Sure you are." I slid my ID across the counter. He barely looked at it, pushed it back. "Fake IDs are common," he said. "Pretty elaborate scam you're running." The word scam hung there, heavy, accusatory. "I suggest," he added, raising his voice just enough, "you leave before this gets uncomfortable." I looked at the security guard, then back at him. "I think I said it already has." That's when the elevator doors opened. A woman stepped out, scanning the lobby with urgency written all over her. Her eyes found me instantly. "There you are," she said, relief flooding her face. "We've been trying to reach you." The manager turned. "Ma'am, I'm handling a—" "That's Dr. Aaron Blake," she said, cutting him off. "The investor." The word investor does funny things to people. His face drained of color. The smirk vanished. The room shifted like furniture being rearranged without warning. There must be a misunderstanding, he said quickly. There was, I replied. But it wasn't mutual. She started apologizing. Sincerely. Overlapping sentences. Professional panic. I buttoned my jacket. I won't be taking the meeting today, I said. Calm. Clear. I need to reconsider. Her face fell. I walked out. Outside, the city noise swallowed the silence I'd left behind. My driver opened the door. I sat, and only then did my hands shake a little. Just a little. Rough morning, he asked. Familiar one, I said. 30 years. Medical school. Residency. A company I built from nothing. Deals that changed industries. And still this. Back at my office, I made one call. Pull everything I said, quietly. What I did next wasn't revenge. Revenge is loud, emotional, sloppy. This was deliberate. I bought time. I bought influence. I bought truth. Weeks passed. Shares accumulated. Patterns emerged. Complaints buried. Settlements hidden behind paperwork and silence. By the time the board realized someone significant was buying into their institution, it was too late to pretend it was coincidence. The meeting was scheduled, mandatory. When I walked into that boardroom this time, I didn't dress understated. Not flashy, just unmistakable. Faces froze. Recognition hit some of them like cold water. I took my seat. I believe I said we were supposed to meet weeks ago. No one spoke. I laid out the evidence. Calmly, patiently. No insults, no raised voice. This isn't about me, I said. I can leave, others can't. They tried compromise, delay, damage control. I shook my head. Transparency, I said, isn't optional. They voted. Change won, not because they were noble, but because the alternative was worse. Months later, I walked into that same branch. Different layout, different staff, different energy. The woman at the desk greeted me with confidence. No hesitation, no scanning. Good to see you, she said. It's good to see this, I replied. As I left, I caught my reflection in the glass. Same man, same posture. But something else had shifted. Not the world, just the rules it thought it could hide behind. And here's the thing that still stays with me. Money didn't make them respect me. The belief that I had it did. So I'll ask you this, and really think about it before you answer. Do people treat you based on who you are? Or based on who they assume you might be?